Megan Phillips with Capstone Realty, and I'm here with
Rachael Drummond of VIP Mortgage.
And we are doing, I promise, it's a quick video today on if you would like to buy a home by the end of this year. If your goal in 2019 was to be a homeowner, or really any time, but we're hoping to get it done this year, the top 5 things that you need to do, like yesterday, to get prepared for purchasing a home. She's gonna give tips on, you know, your bank accounts, your credit, like what to do to make the process as smooth as possible. So what's the first tip when it comes to buying a home? If I am renting a property and I'm like, okay, I've been waiting, now my lease is coming to an end, and you know, in the next 2 months, and I need to make a decision. What's the first thing I should do?
Well, the first thing you should do is just make sure that whatever credit cards that you are using to spend money, that you keep those balances under 30% of the limit.
Okay. So if let's do the math for anyone out there. If the credit card limit is $10,000, that means that I should not have any more than a balance of $3,000.
Correct.
Woo!
Correct.
I am not good at math, ironically. The calculator is my best friend. But okay, so that means like take a look at your credit cards, look at what your maximum amount is that you can spend, and get it down to 30% or below.
30% or below. Yep.
Because some people think, oh, I'm just gonna pay one card down, right? The Dave Ramsey effect or whatever, which is fine.
But that may not be necessary for your score to see the boost that it needs or for you to qualify. So I would hate for anybody to go off and spend the money that they could have put towards their house
payment,
on a credit card when it didn't necessarily help. Hear that?
These are tips. Okay, what's tip number 2?
Tip number 2 is to save some money, right? So typically you're going to want to save anywhere from, I would say around 7% of what you're looking to spend. So if you're looking to spend, let's call it easy math.
Let's say $300,000.
Right, $300,000, then you're going to want to save, what is that, $22,000?
And that's if you're doing 5% down.
Yeah, 5% down.
That includes your 5% down plus a variation for closing costs. We talked about in our last video, there are still 0 down home buyer programs.
Right.
So when we say save $21,000, don't freak out because there's all kinds of different loans and ways that you can go about. But the bottom line is have some money in the bank.
If you're not in that bucket of wanting to actually put the down payment in, then there's programs for you. But if you are planning on putting a down payment down, then let's factor in a 5% down payment and 2.5% for your closing costs.
Okay, and then what's tip number 3?
Avoid large deposits coming into your bank account.
Don't be moving money around. If your spouse is the one that's going to be on the loan and you have 2 separate bank accounts, don't be just like, here's 10 grand, here's 5 grand. Because they're going to be like, where's this extra money coming from?
You know, don't take money out of your mattress and put it into your bank account
out of your
advisor account, right? Let's talk about that first and figure out how long does money need to be in your bank account for it to be considered seasoned, to where we're not going to want that type of paper trail on it. But just know, any large deposits coming into your bank account, they're going to want a paper trail on it. They're going to want to know, where did that money come from? How did it get into your bank account? You know, and for the most part, that type of money can be easily explained, but let's just have that conversation
first. Like if you sell a car that was paid off and you get $20,000, all of a sudden it goes into your bank account. We had a meeting. Bye. All of a sudden you get $20,000 that's in your checking account. As long as you have a paper trail saying where that money's coming from, you're fine.
Correct. And for cars, there's some specific things that you need. So definitely talk with your real estate agent, talk with your lender, and make sure you have those things before you sell that car.
Okay. And we're on 4. What's tip 4?
Tip 4?
No, 4 or 5. I don't know. Check your notes.
See, this is pretty candid. I hope you guys love it. This is a good one. And this is one that people do, you know, when you're feeling good, when you're feeling like you're in a good financial position, a lot of times you'll go out and spend money. You'll go out and get a credit card. You'll go out and buy a new car. Maybe you're going to buy a toy, or buying a quad, or whatever the case is.
A new boat.
Make sure, that actually sounds fun. Make sure that you're not applying for new credit within 120 days of applying for your mortgage. If you do apply for new credit within 120 days of applying for a mortgage, it is going to pull up on your credit report. We're going to want an explanation of, did you open new credit?
Because what's the monthly payment?
Correct,
looking like
because
now?
sometimes that new monthly payment is not going to be reported on your credit report that quickly. And really, multiple credit inquiries within 120 days, whether you're applying for credit cards, auto, it's going to impact your score. So ultimately, you're going to want to keep it as clean as possible, let's say.
Okay, and so the final thing you need to do is, after you've checked your credit, you're making sure you're doing everything, is to go get
a loan application.
Go get pre-qualified. Yeah. Go find a loan officer like Rachael, and get your pre-qualification done, so you know what you're shopping for, that your monthly payment is comfortable.
Ready.
Yeah, and then you just go through the process, and just remember that your pre-qualification is good for 120 days.
Right.
So even if you think, I still need 2 more months before I'm ready to buy, you can still go get your pre-qual and start looking, and you never know. Something might come on the market. And I try to tell people too, because they get nervous when they have a rent and then they're going to buy and then an overlap. But most of the time you get 1 month before your first mortgage payment's due.
Correct.
So ideally, if you're renting, and let's say your current lease ends in November, and you close on your property at the end of October, you would pay your November rent, and your first mortgage payment wouldn't be due until December. So there's no overlap, and you don't have
double payments.
Right. So don't freak out about that. People get nervous. But okay, we're over 5 minutes.
Really quickly, one quick caveat. Your application, your pre-qual is good for 90 days, but credit is good for 120 days.
Sorry, did I say 120?
Yeah.
Okay, we were stuck at 120. Okay, your pre-qual is good for 90 days.
And credit is for 120, so we don't have to repull your credit if we've done it already. Perfect. It's always good to have that ran early.
Okay.
So that if there are little things that we can suggest to pay down, you have time to do that and take the score benefit and the rate benefit from having the better score because you were on top of it.
All right, we're out. We're rolling into Friday.